Hey Libra, come on in, make yourself comfortable, sit for a spell. We are going to drop in and get you a quest read that will help you chart your course leading up to the point of the Aries. Ooh, this wants to come out as a crossing influence, we'll take it. Coming up with the Aries full moon that will be arriving on the scene, that Hunter's moon, on October 6th. And this is a read where we're going to drop in for any Libra placement. So come one, come all. Also, even if you don't have a placement in Libra, but you're just curious, or you love a Libra and you want to know what's going on, or maybe you consider Libra your nemesis. We do know that 7th house of Libra is associated with open enemies. Come on in, check it out, see what's going down. We got a lot happening with Venus at this time. Venus is currently transiting Virgo, and isn't that interesting, because we did have that eclipse energy come in with the new moon in Virgo. This is the energy we are moving through at this time. There is something that will radically close with this cycle, though, once we arrive to the point of the start of the third decanate of Libra on October 13th. That is when we head into the territory of the rebirth of Venus, and that transit of Venus in Virgo moves into its place of hospitality. It moves into Libra, okay? So that ties into all of the alchemy stuff we've been bringing in. I'm going to be bringing those reads in with the different decanates and how they line up with that process once we arrive at the juncture of October 1st. We'll tap into the maiden voyage, you could say, because there's another thing that's going on right now with Venus. Venus, as of today, came within 10 degrees of the south lunar node, right? So this is when we are going to be experiencing a real closing up of karmic cycles. And that isn't just stuff going down right now, but even into the archives of archaic past and looking at past life scenarios, and not only the banes of those experiences and things that still remain to be healed in this lifetime, and that brings in the energy of that Aries full moon, full Hunter's moon, because we have Aries in Chiron. So this is the wound of the self that we're looking at addressing, but there's also the blessings, the booms that come out of doing that work for those of you who have really been actively closing up cycles. So we're going to check it out. We're going to see what is the energy that is coming in for your quest up to the point of the Aries Hunter's moon on October 6th. And I'll be bringing in all of those reads, breaking down the decanates, and those will be collective reads. But of course, if you're born within those decanates, it will speak with volume to you, all right? And we'll be bringing those in on October 1st. In the lead up, at least we'll bring in the maiden or lad aspect of the journey that will lead up to that Hunter's moon. And then we'll bring in some mother energy, father energy leading up to October 13th. And from there, we will dive into the crone, the high priestess, the sage, the wizard energy, the magician. And we'll get a real proper quest going here that will be quite an adventure as we head on up to that precipice of the Libra new moon that will be riding it out right on the edge of the Scorpio season. All right, so we got some really interesting dynamics coming in here, but let's see what this crossing energy is just to open things up, and then we'll get a baseline doing the cuts of the deck. I'm working with the combo Angels Imps deck, okay? And so we're going to look at all of it. We're going to look at shadow light aspects. This is what the archetype of Libra is all about, being the center point of those two polarities. And ideally, you get to the point where you really are the place where those seeming opposites really converge, and you can bring them into a state of unification and blending of perfect alchemy. All right, so what is this crossing influence? Oh, we got the Queen of Pentacles Intellectual lucidity provides consolation and compensation. Oh, I like this. Okay, so we are heading up to a juncture here where something is going to be brought into a state of equilibrium, likely with the Queen of Pentacles. This is something on a material level. It has something to do with you arriving at a point of intellectual awareness. There's some kind of decisiveness. There's some type of clarity coming in here. And whatever you arrive at this juncture is going to be a great consolation to you. It's also going to provide you some kind of compensation for whatever was lost. Okay, and with that Queen of Pentacles energy, it could be connected to an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn coming in there. We're also looking at that aspect of the first decanate Libras who were born right at that place of that new moon in Virgo that was the eclipse energy, and how that really is coloring the landscape here. This is to bring about some kind of compensation. So I like this because it does feel like this is a time when Libras are getting their just due, and it looks like it's something that's balancing out. It's something that provides compensation because the work was done here. So this looks good. But there could be a connecting point with an earth sign energy. There could also be a connecting point in terms of your work, your public reputation, something that you're getting clarity around in regard to your day-to-day habits, maybe the way you are executing your work, also in what you value, where you place the value in your life, and how others value you in return, right? So there is something that is coming around here where maybe at one point there was a bit of inequity. I see something balancing out, but we're not at that juncture yet. The illumination has yet to come. It has yet to arrive on the scene. It's up ahead though. It's a crossing influence. So this is a bridge you will cross before that full moon in Aries on the 6th. Let's get some more details here. It's interesting. It's kind of like, let's just talk about that for a moment. Okay, we just had something flip out here. Ooh, yeah, I mean, some kind of compensation around what was a betrayal. I think there are a couple of people that will be pointed out here that may have been like a fly in the ointment. And I think this is something you might have been a bit like a dog with a bone with here, because you've had a desire to know, maybe a desire to understand why, you know? Why did it have to go like that? Coming in with 8 on the clock, right? That makes me think of matters associated with the past. I do think whatever this is that's coming through, you will get to know. You are being live to this. I mean, there's some kind of communication, knowledge of what went down there is coming in. Where you want to know, you're going to find out. You will be wise to what happened there. And I think that's sort of how you're going to feel. Like, why? Why did it have to be like that? It didn't need to be like that. Coming in at 8:11 on the clock, which is interesting because 8:11 has been coming in as a synchronicity for a while now. And in some decks, justice is represented as the number 8, and in others, the number 11. So I feel like this is double justice. And it's justice for 2 here, maybe who were burdened by something that was done here. It came through as some kind of betrayal, and it is being pointed out. So this looks like some kind of compensation. That's good energy. I like that. What's on the bottom of the deck there? Yeah, look. 6 of Pentacles. This is the balance. This is the compensation. So where there was some kind of division created because of betrayal, there is a unification point happening here. I like this. Comes through with divine grace. And it also will cure any sense of like rage or sense of injustice you felt here. And there will be some absolution of guilt as well. Maybe somebody's going to get something off their chest. They're going to come clean with you. Maybe they're going to point out how they got led astray, or how they arrived at this point where maybe they teamed up their energies with less than savory characters, okay, who maybe led them astray. I do see somebody is kind of like taking charge here. Here we got crossing energy coming in here. Page of Cups. Divine comfort gives consolation and protection from one's enemies. Okay, so we're not here yet, but there is some kind of news coming in that's going to illuminate this. Whatever news this is that's coming in, it does provide the sword of truth, and it does put Fragarok in your hands. So now you have the answers you need, and I do feel like this also brings some kind of new emotional beginning as well, with the Ace of Cups hinted out there. Okay, very interesting energy. Let's get some more details here. Anything else you want to bring in around this for Libra? It's your star. Whatever this is, it aligns you with your North Node. Even as Venus is getting to that point of preparing to cross the South Node, right? 10 degrees today, so the wheel is turning, that wheel of fortune is turning. But it won't be at the point where it actually finally links up with that South Node until the 13th. So it's pretty wild. A lot of action going down in the third decanate of Libra. That's when things really shift. Not only do we sort of have that culmination point of wrapping up all the sagas of the past, and I mean this goes to way back in the past, you know, all those past lives, all those junctures converging, and then it's sort of like passing the energy on to the crone, to the high priestess, to the magician, to really bring it on home, so to speak, to the North Node. It's beautiful energy. There's clemency, there's equilibrium here, there's protection against attacks in the courts, okay? So I feel like you're being cleared here. Maybe there were some stories told about you. You're being cleared, your name is being cleared, your reputation is being cleared here. I like this energy. This is good energy. Okay, we have Aquarius here on the scene. Because the 8 energy came in, there could be a Leo rising that is connected to this. They are Aquarius descendants, all right? What's on the bottom of the deck here? The Lovers. And I like this Lovers in this deck. There's no separation. There's no wondering, do I activate my self-knowledge or not? The choice is very clear. So there is some unification point coming in here. Gemini, through communication, it brings joy and pleasure. Okay. Brings happiness to couples too. And it banishes negative energy. So this is very positive. And we got a Knight of Wands on the scene, hooking up all of those negative energies that have been clogging up the waterway here. So I like this. Good energy here. And this is really going to get things moving. I feel like you're not going to have to hang out in the South Node energy for very long. And Libra did kind of lead the charge with the Plutonian energy way back when. 1333 on the clock. That's the truth. We already faced those crossroads. We introduced that energy back at the tail end of like 2009, I believe. We brought that energy in. So, you know, you've kind of gotten well acquainted with this territory. So I see you just ready to move on up to the transformation point of that North Node. Let's go ahead and do the cut of the deck here. I like this, and we'll get some more details. 6 of Pentacles. I mean, it's just reiterating it. It's a balancing point for you all. So this is good. All right. Things balancing out. It looks like there's another here that you're balancing things out with. After somebody played a little game of dirty pool, tried to play you for a pawn, but this is a checkmate moment. And we see the laurel wreath headdress there, symbolizing a personal victory. And this is because you have knowledge of good and evil. It's like you know where to invest your energy, where you know to direct your attention. 1444 on the clock, okay? That's that temperance energy. It's the alchemy point. And again, coming in with that 8 energy signature, 44 as a synchronicity to be on the lookout for. And again, there's something here about divine anger being appeased. So I do think you felt a sense of injustice. You feel like something sneaky happened back there, like there was dishonesty, there was a little subterfuge, but this is getting cleared away. So it looks good. It looks like where you wanted answers about this, you're getting your answers, and something's being cleared up here. You're not going to be played as a pawn. I want to look behind this. Oh, yes. We got Metatron on the scene helping to bring that energy up to a higher level. Also, Metatron comes in with the Merkaba. So we got the vehicle, the spiritual vehicle that moves you forward. Also, this is Wheel of Fortune energy. So yes, this wheel is turning and you're going places. There's also a lot of advancement and progress coming in for you. And this is good. It's like getting access to the book of life here, and a new chapter opens. And you're going to understand the chapters of the past and why they closed the way they did. So really positive energy. I like this coming in, especially for your solar return to kick things off. Let's go ahead and see what kind of medicine or magic you may need with the astrology herbal oracle here. Oh, the hunt is well underway, on the way to get that chariot coming in with the 7 energy signature. That's your house, Libra. And you are in the process of shape-shifting right now as we speak. There are some sort of illusory influences on the scene with the dragonfly medicine. Dragonfly medicine is the ability to enter dream time, but it also can bring in sort of a Neptunian influence. So do be aware that there is glamour out and about, but I think you'll be able to really tap the roots and you'll be able to ride out this wave of change and transformation here. This is good energy. So go with the flow as you're shape shifting here. And let's see what comes in. What is the medicine? What is the magic that Libra needs to grok at this time? So dragonflies could be coming in as well for you as a sign that things are starting to go through a transfiguration point. And those dragonflies can come in many different ways. Of course, they can come out in the natural environment when you're out on a walk or spending some time with a tree or just gazing up at the clouds and grokking your future from the portents you see forming in the sky there. But they can also come up when you're scrolling online or just in imagery that you come across. So be open to the way that that shows up, but do take it as a sign that you're entering sort of a place of real high mutability when you come across dragonflies, that something is really shape-shifting, and also that in tandem with that, there's a little glamour present. So you can activate that discernment, that clear mental acuity to see beyond any sort of destructive types of illusions, because we have to remember that we are clearing out the old karmic cycles here, right? All right, you had quite a few cards come out there. Basis of the matter, I like this. So it's a little bit of a sensual flow with Mandrake here. And yes, do get in touch with your senses, all right? Balance out that sort of discernment and the mental acuity with emotional intelligence, intuitive intelligence. Really root it down into your creative center here so you can really find the flow that will lead you through that stargate. It's sort of a merging of the Neptunian and Venusian energies there. Do check out where you have your Neptune placement. What sign is it in? What house is it in? It's factoring in at this time. Also pay attention. Where do you have your Venus? If you have a Venus in Virgo, you're really going to be feeling the impact of this cycle. It's really going to be speaking more potently, more powerfully to you. But I do encourage you to look at what you got going down in the 6th house of Virgo. Where do you have placements in Virgo? And where is your Venus placement? With Neptune hanging out there, you could be looking at a 12th house Venus placement, right? So even more clues that what is now in that sort of subterranean territory, diving deep into the underworld, is about to rise up. 2011 on the clock. That's the judgment. It is the balancing point. It's like a return back to the light. It's like you're diving for light at this time. So we're going to go ahead and do a review of these energies here. Oh, and there we got the 12th house coming in right there. The journey that leads you to the Empress, to love, and to seeing with that full moon a hint of the growth that comes on the other side of what was lost, what was sacrificed, what was pruned. Understanding that it was necessary to grasp those thorns to bring about the sweetness of the bloom of this rose. And it does look like we got Cupid's arrows aiming straight for your heart. There is some kind of love, some kind of peace, some kind of message coming in here that lights up the landscape. And it's coming in with the energy of Venus and the moon. Okay, so that's that new moon energy. And we're building up to a crescendo point with this. And yes, it's very dreamy territory here with the poppy coming in. Things are changing. The fixed is coming undone. Look at all the new moon symbolism that's coming through here. And once again, we have Neptune on the scene coming in with Saturn. So we have had that energy of Saturn hanging out in Pisces. So this is a whole new flow. But I feel like you're really mastering this. And we see your Stargate is up here too. So all of this is really coming into view. Allow what has been sort of set in stone to be dissolved, sort of tumbled in those waves of change, and sort of smooth out the rough edges. This is a really beautiful energy coming in, and this change is bringing you to a place of really activating your medicine. We got Badger totem coming in here. Badger is the totem of medicine woman, so there's some kind of deep healing that's coming in here with that full moon. We see that it's the culmination point of that new moon in Virgo, eclipse energy that will be reaching its fruition with that hunter's moon, symbolized by Mars there, Aries energy, okay? There's defenses are sort of cleared away at that time. There's a softening that's coming in, and there's the activation of the peaceful warrior. It brings about some kind of happiness here, some kind of joy with the energy of the sun coming in with number 19. It also is a brand new beginning. The wheel of fortune turns and the journey begins into the mastery of what is learned there. It's put in motion, and that sets us on the journey of truly coming into that place of being the high priestess or the magician that makes all things sound as it comes into the one point, the unification point here. It also brings wealth, okay? It brings a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. It also brings material wealth as well. We did see that there was some kind of compensation. There was something that was going to come in. There was going to be some reward from whatever was lost there. And this is coming in with the energy of Jupiter and Mercury. So there will be tangible news coming in around this. And closes out here with number 20, Judgment. Right? This is the judgment. It's going to soon be time to rise and shine. You will get that call. I do see you rising to it. I do see you heading forward on your journey with a real bardic spirit here. And you are ready to weave the stuff of your destiny out of the fate that was handed to you. And you know that there has been a need to have protection around you in the past, but there's something new that's coming in here, and it's like a web of light, a web of connectivity that allows some of these former defenses from that armadillo medicine to fall away. We got the peacock medicine here too. Okay, so this is really about entering that river of change. Peacock reminds me of Oshun. So it's entering that honey flow, that sweetness. This is a lot of really beautiful, positive energy coming in here. Let me go ahead and do a cut of the deck for you, Libra, and see what we got to close this out. I mean, number 11, it's justice. Damiana, the beloved. And I love that. Look at Raven there. Raven symbolizing the journey of Libra on the medicine wheel. There is some beautiful unification point. Look at all that love flowing in between these two. It's also flowing directly through you. We see a hint of the raven's feathers returning to white here, which is a prophecy. It's an indigenous prophecy, and it's the time when white raven returns. So this is like the collective consciousness is starting to come more into this unification point, returning to a more spiritual perspective, a more unified collective. So this is a beautiful sign of things to come. And this is a journey of redemption. I love this. The beloved, as within, so without. Okay, so there is some beautiful merging happening here, certainly within, but it's also with another. There's some kind of star mate that you're really aligning with here, and you see eye to eye, and there's a real sensual flow around this. Damiana, this gives you an idea of the energy signature. Damiana is one of those plant allies that really courts you. It has this a little bit of a glamour, sort of seductive kind of quality to it, but it's so yummy and sensual, and it just has this real flow of its own. Some of you may want to work with Damiana. It is quite lovely, and of course, always check with your healthcare practitioner to make sure it's a fit for you. But if you get a clearance on that, I have to tell you, it's a wonderful ally to work with, to enter into this sort of like dreamy kind of energy and work with it in the best way, and also really embody that energy signature. And on the other side here, what do we have? Ooh, I love it. The dichotomy. Angel's trumpet, death. See, this is what's related to that eclipse energy that came in. This is when we finally close that out. It is complete. And it's really interesting about Angel's trumpet, right? We talk about, you'll hear the call, will you rise to it? Well, it's the opportunity to rise and shine. This is the cycle of rebirth that is going to open up here. There's a little bit of Lokian energy on the scene, but we know that Loki got those falcon feathers, that falcon cape from Freya, and used that falcon cape to fly into the realm of the giants to do a little bit of crafty trickery to be able to retrieve the Thor's hammer that was stolen from Thor, to put the power back in the rightful hands. So that's a little bit of this energy, and we know that the rebirth is coming in here because we have the bat hanging out, and bat is the medicine of rebirth, but it's also initiation. So this is an important point of initiation that is coming in here. It is a bit of that journey of Lilith, moving from that state of being exiled to moving into exaltation. There are certain gifts, there are certain magics, there are certain medicines that will come in for you that you will be retrieving here to carry you forward on your journey. So be on the lookout for this, but we will enter this territory of that rebirth cycle once we arrive on the 13th of October, and you get to the rebirth of Venus when it moves back into Libra. And this eclipse energy that was brought in with the Virgo energy is like sort of cleared out, okay? But it's from that this new path arises, all right? Angels' trumpets, they look really beautiful. They look really beautiful, but they are deadly and they are poisonous, okay? So this is sort of like the territory you're moving through right now, and it was 29 on the clock, double 11s, 11 energy, 224, arriving at that point of the Emperor. Okay, it really is coming to a crescendo here, and we see that here also coming in with Mars. All right, so quite the ride leading up to that full moon. I mean, I don't have any complaints about this energy. I think you're quite comfortable here. It looks like your rebirth is already assured. You just have to be able to continue to flow with this energy and be ready to hear the truth where you've wanted to receive it. You're about to. And I think it will be a little bit disappointing to hear how and why things rolled out the way they did. But when you see what's on the other side of it, I think you'll be grateful for the experience and the wisdom garnered nonetheless.